Well. A pleasant good morning to each and every one. A pleasant good Monday morning, I would say, to each and every one. And thank you so much for joining us here with Cruising with the Case Handler. And of course, it's a team of attorneys that's about to turn it up when it comes to immigration and personal injury. And ladies and gentlemen, it happens each and every single weekday at 9:30 a.m. I am David Squeezanicki right here on 93.5 WVIP FM and also on Facebook. And let me introduce my friends, my attorneys of the law firm PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. It's going to be a great day because tomorrow is going to be a phenomenal day. Gentlemen, welcome to Cruising with the Case Handler, show on personal injury and immigration. How you all feeling this great, wonderful, beautiful Monday morning? How you all feeling?
All good, man. All good. Squeeze, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you down with, I need to get it, need to get this over with before Nelson has an anxiety attack. Are you down with PPID?
Come on, you know me. I'm down with PPID. We are here. Gentlemen, I'm quite sure you are ready to say a lot of things. You know, we're about to jump right into the show, get some questions answered on both sides, personal injury and immigration. How you all feeling? How was your weekend?
Weekend was great. Not as good as your weekend. I saw some of those Instagram stories with all that landscape. You were calling it landscape.
Good to have friends, man. It's good to have.
It's all good, man. You are living the life. Where was that place you were staying at though? That had that like balcony. That had that.
Yeah, it's called Try.
That place is magnificent. Good for you. Good for you, brother.
Beautiful landscape and all of that stuff.
Was that Sandy Bay? Where was that?
Yeah, that's about 15 minutes outside of Montego Bay. It's where all your friends live, Conrad. I'm just letting you know where your friends live. You know, those people, who retired there. After what, Jamaica's a great place to retire. Beautiful place, by the way. The great boxer lives there. All right. Mr. Lewis, okay, heavyweight. Quite a few people live over there. It's a phenomenal place. Try all.
Yeah, I was actually when I was in Jamaica last year at this. Was it this time? It was about a year ago. I was in Jamaica, and I think it's over in Negril. Like there's a whole like community of old hippies that moved down there years ago, and it's almost like San Francisco down there. Have you ever been in that area and seen those people?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Jamaica is the Mecca right now,
Yeah.
But anyway, getting ready to head back, and I just saw Como's how would I put it, mandate. You all saw that?
Yep.
Every single person coming to New York. Did you see that, Nelson?
I did.
Yeah. Basically, you must test negative or else.
And still quarantine.
Huh?
And still quarantine.
And still quarantine. So that's major.
Look, I think it's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
The fact is, federal government, has basically absolved itself of any responsibility in terms of, this epidemic. So the governors have to take it upon themselves. New York, New York's done a great job over the long haul, and the numbers are even here are climbing. So you got to do the right thing here. You got to take this thing seriously. Look, the fact is, a lot of people think it's nonsense and it's BS and all. But I've got in my neighborhood up in Westchester, I know 2 people. I found out another one over the weekend. 2 people that died. One guy I've been trying to reach since April, emailing him, no response. Finally, my wife got the word that the guy died. It's 2 people I know in my neighborhood that died from this.
There's been 3 cases in my town, guys my age. I put it this way: I know more people that have gotten COVID in the past month than since the beginning of this pandemic. Me personally, people that I actually know. So it is still very, very dangerous out there, and it's important that, like you said, Conrad, people are taking it seriously. People ask me all the time, "You're in the city, how is it?" And I say, you know what? Here in the city, I really do believe, or at least downtown, that it is a priority to be safe. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's trying their best to socially distance. distance. So I think it's all good, as far as what people are doing, but maybe people aren't not doing enough. And
Well, I have a friend, old friend of mine from college, who unfortunately has lost his mind and is a Trumper. And his attitude is like, all you New York libs, I'm not going to hide under my bed like you. So like, I say, hey, I'm not hiding under my bed. I'm just taking precautions, but his attitude is I'm not going to hide under my bed. So, and, so he gets on his motorcycle and he goes to the truck stops and I don't want to caricature as that
hanging out at the truck stops.
I'm not, well, this is no joke, man. This is no joke. And this guy, he says, I'm not going to hide under my bed. If I get it, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very Cuomo is doing the right thing, I must say, and I must admit, even here in Jamaica, coming down, you have to test negative. I had to test the day before. You have to test negative before getting into the country, and they check everything when you come to the airport and all that. But I think the world needs to really tighten up a lot when it comes to this COVID thing. There's a whole lot that people can do, but because of our current president, people believe. No, when you're a leader, people believe in you, regardless of what you are. People believe in you. So if you're a leader and you're doing certain things, people are going to follow. So it's very unfortunate as to what's going on. I think that we could be in a much better position. But you know what? It is what it is, and I hope hopefully that the people who are listening to us, wear your mask, sanitize, practice your social distance, test, and let's pray that we have a new president come tomorrow.
I just read this morning about, I guess one good thing that'll come whether he wins or loses is these rallies will end because they are super spreader events. So far, I just heard this morning, they've tracked 700 people that died as a result of attending these idiot rallies. 700 people. So,
very
and there are thousands and thousands. Oh, what's 700? What's if you know one of them, it's something.
Yeah, right.
Or if it's a relative or a friend, an old friend of yours, it's something.
Right.
So I don't get it.
Well, you know what? Nelson, you're making a lot of noise over there, man. Can you calm down a little bit? How you doing, man? How is everything? And any updates you want to give us as to?
I am well. No real updates. I think we've kept everyone pretty updated. Just, I guess, waiting to see what happens tomorrow. I think everyone is pretty much, hoping for a favorable outcome, whatever that may be.
You're not.
I just want to get it over with. Enough already.
Potential negative outcome, are you?
Anything can happen. Let's not be fools. Come on.
That's what I was about to say.
Anything can happen.
It's expect the unexpected, right?
It's not,
I'm sorry. Listen, you don't look very happy with that comment, but it's just a fact.
I'm not.
Everything that I'm reading, we're not going to know tomorrow night, but you might know in which direction the election is trending. Florida is a big one. Right? Florida is a big one tomorrow. I don't think we're going to have an answer on Pennsylvania. I don't think we're going to know a lot. I think Trump will be ahead in the beginning. And that's, of course, why he wants to, he said, well, we got to know on election night, because he'll be ahead in the beginning. The way the polls close at the times they close, and he'll be ahead in the beginning. But Florida, if Biden wins Florida, it's probably going to go our way. All right, that's the key. If Trump wins Florida, it's still not a done deal. He's got to win other states. He's got to win Florida though. Trump loses Florida, he's done.
Yeah. Well, people are voting. I'm seeing the headlines that record numbers have already voted, so that's a good sign. And like I said, for months now, you can't if you haven't voted and you're allowed to vote, you have no right to complain about anything, right? If you have not exercised your responsibility as a citizen of this country, then shame on you, and don't come crying to me. And I know that we've had a lot of people call this summer and finally apply for their citizenship because they wanted the right to vote. A lot of people, it's amazing to me, Squeeze, that I have clients and family of clients that, you know, are eligible for citizenship and really have never done that. And I just don't understand that. If you can be a citizen and you've been living here for decades, why would you not become a citizen? You know,
The hell out of me.
and usually, the answer that I usually don't hear, well,
What?
it's too expensive. You know, nobody, says that to me, because even if they said that to me, I'd say, well, how how expensive is it to become a citizen, Nelson? What are the filing? What are the filing?
The filing fees at the moment are $725. You know, they're supposed to increase to $1,544. But you know, that increase has not gone into effect as of yet. You know, I look, let's forget about the filing fees. More importantly is you have no idea how many people I've represented whose entire family became citizens. And now they got arrested one time and they're a permanent resident, and now they're facing removal proceedings. And now it's going to cost thousands of dollars to try to stay in the United States. You know, forget being a citizen, right? Because their entire family became citizens except for them, you know, because they, you know, missed their interview. They didn't attend their oath ceremony. And now they're facing, you know, removal. And that's a scary thing. And, you know, again, $725 is a drop in the bucket when you're spending thousands of dollars just trying to stay in the United States. So something to think about.
And to add to that, Nelson and Adam and Conrad, you know, I say it all the time, and my friends say, but Squeeze, you shouldn't say that. But it's the truth. Listen carefully. You need to go for your citizenship. You need to file for your citizenship, especially if you are people of color. It's all over the news. You all see what's happening. You are a target. I am a target. Go for your citizenship. One little thing can get your ass kicked out of this country. And you're going to be like, well, I didn't want to file for my citizenship. No, come on, do it. As Nelson said, it's a drop in the bucket. It's a little price to pay, or a big price to pay. Okay. But you don't want to get kicked out of this country. It's very unfortunate what's happening out there. So you need to actually do everything within your power to actually preserve your stay here in the United States. And that's the reason why I say to each and every one out there, I don't hide anything. I can't be a hypocrite to myself. I can't be a hypocrite to you. If you want to pretend like certain things don't exist, that's your business. But I am going to tell it to your face. And that's the reason why I say every single day, I yell, scream 7 days a week, call PPID, 844-774-3529. Talk to them about your immigration situation. Get that free phone consultation. Schedule that consultation with an attorney and talk to them. Get it sorted out. I'm sorry, it's not perfect, but if you can do anything to appease or ease what's going on, do it. Becoming a citizen is extremely important. And let PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico help you with becoming a citizen. So
and the good news is, please, you know, even if you're, sorry, Conrad, real quick, and then I'll let you go. The phone call is free, right? If you're eligible, or maybe if you're eligible and not sure if you should do it, or if you're not sure if you're eligible, ladies and gentlemen, we've been pushing this since the middle of March. The phone call is free. The consultation over the phone is free of charge. We've talked to hundreds and hundreds of people in all types of situations, and they at least knew where they stood after the phone call ended. They knew whether or not we can help them or whether or not we can help them. And there are situations that we can't help them. And trust me, if we can't help you, nobody can help you. The only people that will say they're helping you is the people that take your money and then ultimately say there's nothing we can do. But right. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot be any more sincere, any more emphatic that the number is there for you to use. We don't do this show because we have nothing better to do between 9:30 and 10:15 in the morning. We got tons of stuff to do because there are thousands of clients that have hired our firm that need us to work on their cases. But we're always happy to take on more clients, more cases. We're happy to give back to the community that's embraced us for decades. But please, please, please take this number seriously. Use it if you need it. Use it if you're unsure. 844-774-3529. 844-774-3529, or easy to remember, 844 PPID law. Sorry, Conrad. What were you saying?
I was going to say, in terms of the filing fees, as Nelson said, they were supposed to go up on October 2nd, but a lawsuit was filed, and the court, in its wisdom, enjoined the rise in the filing fees and prevented it from happening. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's just been delayed. And if Trump wins tomorrow or this week or whenever, you can bet that those filing fees are going to be going up. And citizenship right now it's $725. It's going to double. So the fees are going up. Look, I get it. A lot of people are unsure what's going to be. A lot of people are thinking, do I want to stay in this country, a country that doesn't want me here? Do I want to be here? You know, a lot of that, hopefully a lot of those people will have their questions answered this week. But you know, you got to vote. You got to vote. And as you just said, Adam, if you don't vote, and you basically, you know, you've got nobody to blame but yourself if you don't like the people that are running the show. So polls have closed basically pretty much everywhere now, I think, until tomorrow. So tomorrow's the day. And one thing also, you know, Squeeze, you asked about anything recent, any news. There is a story out there that if Trump wins, that his immigration agenda is basically going to be unrestrained, as if it hasn't been already. But a lot of the stuff that they were afraid to do because it would impact his reelection, they're not going to be afraid anymore because now there's you know, no holds barred. One of the things that they have in mind is to eliminate birthright citizenship. What is birthright citizenship? After the Civil War, 14th Amendment was passed, basically said, I think it was 14th, it was 13th or 14th, one of those two. Basically, if you're born in the United States, you're a U.S. citizen. And this has really been something that the conservatives, that the Trumpers especially, just they despise this law. And it's in the Constitution. If you're born in the United States, doesn't matter if you're illegal. If you're here, you're born here, even if your parents are illegal, you're a U.S. citizen. They're trying to get rid of that. They've been trying for years. But if he gets reelected, they might actually be successful. And basically, that would mean that even if you have a child born in the United States, if you're not here illegally, if you're a permanent resident, or if you're just here on a visa and you have a child here, that means the child would not be a U.S. citizen. They believe that people come here deliberately just to give birth to the child. And we talked about this the other day. You know, they've eliminated tourist visas for people that are pregnant, you know, to avoid that from happening. That's one step in that direction. They think that people come here, they try to have a child here, so that way the child can get free health care and so on and so forth. And I'm sure there are some people that might think that way, although it's not quite that simple. They also call it anchor. There's also that pejorative term, anchor baby.
Right.
You know, as if you can come here, give birth, and then that child can sponsor the parent that's illegally here. It's nonsense. There's no such thing. That law changed in 1977. All right. If you have a child here, child's U.S. citizen, child cannot petition for the parent unless the child was 21 years old. Right. So that whole anchor baby nonsense is just that. It's nonsense. But again, they're going to try and eliminate birthright citizenship. That's one of the things they're going to do. One of many on their list of really bad stuff that they're looking to do. So if you haven't voted, please get out there. If you're an immigrant or your relatives are immigrants, your families are immigrants, if it's an important issue to you, if Trump gets in, there's been a lot of bad stuff happening to immigrants these past 4 years, but the next 4, God only knows, man. God only knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Cruising with the Case Handler, a show that is brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and Masico. We speak on immigration and we speak on personal injury. Coming up in under 30 seconds, Adam Handler will be sharing a true success story of someone that he has helped in the personal injury capacity. And just want to say to each and every one out there, as Conrad noted, Nelson noted, Adam noted, become a citizen. That's one. 2, you can't vote right now if you're not a citizen, okay? However, become one. Your vote counts in the future. Also want to say tomorrow is election day. Let's all go out and do the right thing and vote for Biden. Just wanted to add that in there, all right? we're in a dilemma as to what we know will happen if we do not vote for Biden. All right. With that said, I'm going to kick it over to Adam Handler. Yes, we will get to the immigration questions later, but let's kick it over to Adam Handler on personal injury. But gentlemen, great talk so far as to immigration, great talk so far as to voting. Let's kick it to the $125 million man, the case handler. All right, Adam.
Hey, good morning, my brother. Ready to talk about a case today. I try to pick out interesting cases that we've worked on for people that have come to us with their problems. Let me just do a formal introduction because it's been well into the show. And I'm Adam Handler. I am your case handler. I've been practicing personal injury law for 17 years. I've been a partner of Pollack, Isaac DeSico for 6 years, having moved my practice here from another law firm. And we've done some really incredible things, not only this year during the pandemic, 2020, but just over the 6 years, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars for our clients in recovery for time out of work, medical bills, and pain and suffering. We get you the maximum award we can for your injury, no doubt about it. We don't stop until we feel satisfied that we've done the best possible job for you and your family, because Squeeze, you got one chance to get it right. One chance to get it right. There are no redos. You can never open up your case. I get calls all the time. Yeah, I had a case. My lawyer settled for this. I'm still in pain. I need you to reopen my case. And I tell them no. I know that sounds harsh, but I say no. I won't. You know why? Because I can't. You made a very, very foolish decision in going with an attorney that, you didn't really do a background check on. Maybe they came up to you at the scene of the accident, or maybe a doctor had referred them to you. I've actually heard situations where the tow truck operator, they're ready to tow their car and they give you their business card as to where you can pick up your vehicle, and then give you a business card for a lawyer that you should call. I mean, that is absolute nonsense, but it happens. And if a lawyer has to cheat and cut corners to get you as a client, God knows what they're going to do when it comes time to settle your case. So if you want, the best possible representation for you and your family, I highly suggest you listen to this show, you keep our number, you save our number, you Google me if God forbid it ever arises, because we will fight for you like family, like my family has been doing personally. My family, my bloodline has been doing this for nearly 100 years in this city. 100 years. My grandfather became a lawyer in 1932. We are 12 years away from 100 years of legal service here in New York City, something I'm very, very proud of, and something I take seriously, because in this business, reputation is everything. And if you want a champion, you want the thoroughbred, you want somebody that's going to ride till the end of the race to make sure that they win. Again, one chance, one choice. I'm your case handler. Let's talk about one quick case, and then we'll turn back over to immigration. A $50,000 settlement, which, is a lot of money. We talk about $500,000 settlements or $5 million settlements, but, every case is important to every client. And this case was important to Cliff, and a $50,000 maximum award, but with a little bit of twist, and we'll talk about it. Squeeze, if you would just read that quote for me.
Absolutely. Move that cursor there.
Oh, sorry.
Move that cursor. Thank you. If the case handler team can take your case, you can believe that they will fight till the end. You can't lose with the case handler. Adam Handler and Matthew Goodstein are fantastic lawyers. Cliff from White Plains, New York, $50,000 settlement. $50,000, solid amount of money.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit more about this case.
And the most he could have gotten. We love getting those big numbers, but when we get the maximum amount, that's really when we know we've done a job well done. And this was a case in which somebody hit Cliff's car. They actually had to use the jaws of life to get him out. The photographs of the vehicle were crazy. I don't know why they weren't uploaded, but they had to extract him from the vehicle. He had injuries to his neck and his back. He went to physical therapy. He had some injections. He also had a left shoulder injury, which required a surgery. and we got the full $25,000 from the other vehicle. Again, in the state of New York, the minimum insurance you are required to carry, right? If you're going to drive a vehicle legally here in the state of New York, you have to have at least 25,000. Unfortunately, that car had 25,000, but the vehicle that Cliff was driving did have that supplemental insurance, so we were able to get him another 25,000. So the maximum from the car that hit him, the maximum from his own car insurance, and then again, one final twist: the car that he was driving was not his car; it was a friend's vehicle, and there was not damage coverage on that vehicle. And the other vehicle came after Cliff for the damage to their car. And Squeeze, I'm sure you know BMWs are not cheap to fix. They claimed $42,000 in damage, which it actually was. And they actually sued him for $42,000. And we were able to reduce that from $42,000 to $1,500. So not only did we fight to get him as much money as we can on the injury side, we fought to limit his exposure to make sure that he kept as much of that $50,000 in his pocket as possible. But, you know, he made a mistake. He was not sure whether or not the car he was driving, which was his friend's car, did have insurance. You know, people, hey, can I borrow your car? Yeah, take your keys, drive off. You don't know if that person, you know, you never check to make sure that their insurance is valid. Whenever I drive somebody else's vehicle, I say, where's your registration and where's your insurance card? And it should be in the glove box. So
thanks for reminding me about that, man, when I borrow your car next week.
What do you say?
Thanks for reminding me about that when I borrow your car next week.
Listen, Squeeze, as long as you return my car with a full tank of gas, you got nothing to worry about, brother.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Handler, the case handler, sometimes I call him the shark, but it's a good thing when I call him that, because he will fight tooth and nail to ensure that you get the maximum amount of money, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And sorry about that, gentlemen. All right. He will ensure that you get the maximum amount of money. God forbid you get into an accident. This is the reason why you need this attorney. This is the reason why you need Adam Handler. Call him. As a matter of fact, I want everyone watching this on Facebook, everyone listening to us on the radio, dial this number. Don't listen. If you don't hear Adam's voice at the top of the hour, okay, that's the wrong attorney. All right. You need to hear Adam's voice. Okay. And we make sure that you hear his voice enough so you know that's his voice when you hear it. All right. Call him now. The number is 844-774-3529. Everyone listening to this radio station, watching Facebook, should store his number. No, you're not planning on getting into an accident, but sheesh happens. All right. You know what I'm talking about. Dial the number 844-774-3529. Dial it, let it ring 15 seconds. Adam will answer the phone and say hi to you. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Make the link, make the connection, and make it the case handler at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. All right. Jumping over now. Thank you so much, Adam, for giving us that true success story on, of course, personal injury. All right. Do appreciate you doing that. Let's switch it to immigration. Let's see if we can squeeze one in before the top of the hour right here. Here we go. All right. I am currently out of status and would like to know what my options are. If I marry a citizen, would I have to go back home while he is filing for me? Would his filing for me affect his citizenship? How long would it take to obtain one's citizenship?
Citizenship typically takes anywhere from 8 months to a year. You know, obviously, if she marries this person should first become a citizen. If she's out of status, marrying a permanent resident would not, it would fall into a preference category. And she would probably have to return back home to ultimately legalize her status. If she married a citizen, she would be able to legalize her status in the United States.
Gotcha. What is the longest ICE can hold a detainee while they are fighting a case and appealing decisions? Can someone really be detained for 3 to 4 years fighting an immigration case? Nelson?
Actually, your lawyer should consider filing what's called a habeas in federal court. Typically, while immigration can detain you, there is something known as obviously an unreasonable amount of time. It's something we just did for someone. Again, it's a guest we plan to have on this show in the next couple of days. But they should try to file a habeas and see if this person can be released.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to the top of the hour, but ladies and gentlemen, you see how great these attorneys are? That's Nelson Madrid. We call him the Maverick. You see how he just fired off the answers just like that? Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, immigration, personal injury. Every single one listening to the station, watching Facebook, should store their number, should have their number. We got more questions, but let's just make sure you get the number. 844-774-3529. Get yourself a free phone consultation. Schedule that consultation with an attorney. The number, 844-774-3529.
It's 10 o'clock.
Right there. All right. Nelson, you're on fire, man. You're just firing off those answers. All right, let's get to the next one here on immigration. And everyone that's on Facebook, I haven't checked, but please, I hope and I pray that you are helping us out by sharing what it is that you are watching.
Tip your waiter. Tip your waiter.
Tip your waiter. All right. We are your waiters. All right. Okay, let's get into another question. It says, I am a naturalized United States citizen. My sister stayed in the U.S. on her visitor's visa about 3 months past the time stamped in her passport by the immigration officer at the Miami airport in 2001. She had her passport back stamped. That's interesting. And also turned in her I-94 form going back to Jamaica. She then traveled back to America, but was sent back to Jamaica on her arrival at the airport in Miami and was told she cannot come back to America for 10 years. Is there anything that can be done so that she can apply again for a visitor's visa? It's a serious doo-doo here.
Visitor's visa? You're kidding, right?
No, I'm not kidding. That's right here. You
can always apply. You can always go to the consulate. You have plenty of time on your hands. You can always go to the consulate and apply for a tourist visa or any other kind of visa. I would pretty much guess with some assurance, some pretty reasonable assurance here, she's probably not going to get a visa. She committed fraud. She overstayed. She's done all kinds of nasty things. I doubt she's going to get a visa. Her best bet would be this U.S. citizen. If they haven't done it already, which I don't know why they haven't applied already, but U.S. citizen applying for a sibling should put that visa petition in and hopefully get something going there. But a case like that will take 15 years. So hopefully they've done it already. She's got all kinds of waiver issues as well. She's got a tough situation ahead, but I could pretty much guarantee you you're probably wasting your time if you think you're going to go into the consulate and apply for any kind of visa to come to the United States.
Okay. Very serious stuff. And I will say to you all out there, all right, one thing I will add to what Conrad just noted, to everyone that's watching us and listening to us, don't backstamp your passport. Don't. Come on. Don't.
Well, squeeze back, you don't see that much anymore because things have changed a lot. But back in the old days, in the 80s and 90s, you'd see that occasionally, not just Jamaica. You see it in various countries where it would be possible the person would come with a visa and then take that passport and send it back to somebody in their country, and they would get a stamp there, making it look like they left the country, like they left the United States, when in fact they didn't. Right. It was a fairly, wouldn't say common, but you'd see it occasionally. You don't really see that anymore. You notice that was in 2001. You don't really see that kind of thing anymore because you can't get away with it anymore. But people used to do that 20, 30 years ago.
It's fraud.
Yeah.
Straight up, it is fraud,
Fraud, but the thing is, like I said, 20, 30 years ago, every so often they get away with it. No more. Those days are long gone.
Okay. All right. See a lot of people calling. Remember the numbers, once again, 844-774-3529. This show is brought to you by the law firm Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, located in New York City, Peekskill, and also, of course, Brooklyn. We will talk more about the locations, later. As a matter of fact, Nelson, why don't you give us the locations?
We are located at 906 South Street in Peekskill, New York, 107 Avenue I, Brooklyn, New York, and 225 Broadway, 3rd floor, New York, New York. The 225 office is our main office.
Okay, there you go. All right, got one final question here. How long should one have to wait to receive their work permit after everything has been approved? So far, it's been 5 months and still nothing.
So employment authorizations used to take up to 90 days. Now it's obviously taking a lot longer, typically anywhere from 6 to 8 months. You know, one of the things we typically recommend is clients should also renew their employment authorizations at least 6 months before it's set to expire, because of the backlog. So there is a backlog. Again, you're looking at 6 to 8 months. If you've been waiting 5 months, there's nothing unusual, nothing outside of the ordinary.
Also depends on how you applied for work authorization. This person hasn't said how they put in the application. Is it based on adjustment of status to marriage to a spouse? Is it based on political asylum? Is it based on some other possibility, you know, that they're applying under? My experience is when you're doing it through adjustment of status, they typically come quicker than if you're doing it through asylum, for instance. But 5 months, these days, it's not that unusual, as Nelson said.
Got you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this show, it's called Cruising with a Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. Going to have, or ask rather, Adam Handler, okay, the co-pilot here, to actually take us out and top off the show. I just got one question for him.
Dude, I
got one question for you. Why is it you have Chris Rock, you know, in your car, you know, right there, you know? So
Nelson and Conrad weren't on that show. First of all, I just got a freaking email. I just won a case for $85,000. Literally, I just got this email 30 seconds ago. Conrad, I'll come in your office in a minute to discuss. Geico offered $20,000 to settle this case. So judge just gave us 85 grand.
Wow.
That's how we do it here, baby. That's how we do it.
Man, you know,
just open this email. That's called real-time reality show right there. Awesome. But with respect to the joke about Chris Rock, my daughters were watching a rerun of this show the last week, and they asked me why I have a cartoon of the case handler in a car with Chris Rock. Because they thought that was Chris Rock.
Good to know I look like.
And I said, all guys, you know, there's a saying, all guys from Connecticut look alike, you know, so it's all good.
Oh, man. Anyway, it's been a great show. Thank you so much, Adam. And I'm quite sure Conrad wants to top it off about voting.
What makes you so sure?
Oh, I know you, man. By now, if there's one thing I know, you have to talk about that. Believe me, I could put money on that, you know?
Look, I mean, if you haven't voted already, the polls are closed in every state now. So tomorrow's the day. And depending on where you are, polls are open at different times and they close at different times. Bottom line is you need to get out to vote. And look, we're clearly, you know, we're immigration lawyers. The firm, one of the major departments in our firm is an immigration department. So clearly we're pro-immigrant here. And if you're pro-immigrant, the choice is pretty stark. If you're pro-immigrant, you're going to vote for Joe Biden. If you're anti-immigrant, you're going to vote for Donald Trump. It really is that simple. There is nothing pro-immigrant about Donald Trump, and there's nothing anti-immigrant about the Joe Biden campaign. And I would encourage you, if you're undecided, if you're one of those extremely rare people these days and undecided on who to vote for tomorrow, and immigration's important to you, go to Joe Biden's website, Google his immigration platform, and you'll see all the good things that he's going to do for immigrants. And from where we're coming from where we're sitting right now, that's the direction I think the country needs to go. Personally, the United States wouldn't be the United States without its immigrant past, its immigrant heritage, and that's a proud past and it's a proud heritage. And personally, I really, I'm so dismayed at what this administration has said and has done, and how they continually demonize immigrants. In fact, I'm shocked that we haven't heard any stories about caravans this election. You know, I mean, it's shocking because every time there's an election, you hear those Trump complaining about those caravans, you know, stacking up at the border, you know, looking to come in and take away our stuff. You know, haven't heard that this time around. You know, it just occurred to me. Although he did at one of his rallies the other day, he did roll out that old story about Mexican rapists and so on. You know, he does roll that out every so often. But anyway, you know, all of the rhetoric aside, you need to vote. So please get out there and vote. If you're going to vote for Biden, if you're not voting for Biden, then stay home.
Please, can you have your team make us a vote background that we can use for tomorrow's show?
Absolutely.
Something like that.
Consider it done. I'm quite sure Ali is listening, and
that'd be great.
All right, no problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching Cruising with a Case Handler. Once again, the show on personal injury and immigration. However, Pollack, Isaac, and Seco is a full-service law firm. So whatever legal issues you may run into or have, make sure you reach out to them first, and they'll point you in the right direction. If not, handle it right there and then. The number to call is 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Tomorrow, let's all go out, let's vote, and let's make it Biden. Thank you all so much for watching. Priorities do not guarantee similar outcome. Yes, we are here to help you and obviously to serve you. Reach out, 844-774-3529. Have yourself an amazing day. And don't think twice about voting for Biden. Vote Biden tomorrow, very early. Get out there at 6 a.m. Get it in there, and then sit back and watch. All right? I see that cup right there, man. Trump Apocalypse. Say it. Anyway, I'm out of here, and we are out of here. Thank you so much for watching.